Kalamazoo's Rock Station 107.7 RKR. It's the Rock Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
Meatball, last Friday, we were talking about the urban legend surrounding the McDonald's in Mackinaw City.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about how there was rumor that the urban legend was that it was the only McDonald's in the world that shut down during the winter season. That ended up not being true, but we've got a follow-up on this on the 107.7 RKR app, and today we're talking to a good dude of ours, Brendan, who's actually the GM of this current building. Brendan, how's it going, man?
It's going great.
Awesome,
How are
dude.
you this morning?
We are doing really good.
Doing good.
So we wanted to talk to you this morning because we got some information on one of the posts that we made on Facebook, and we saw that the McDonald's was actually once the Dixie Saloon, and then it once again became the Dixie Saloon, correct?
That's correct. The main part of that building is actually formed in 1890.
Wow.
And before the Mackinaw Bridge was actually built and I-75 was put in, it was called the Old Dixie Tavern. And it actually marked the end of the Old Dixie Highway, which spanned all the way from Florida and stopped right here at Mackinaw City in front of the Old Dixie Tavern.
That's so cool.
And this was back in the day when you had to take a ferry across the straits before the bridge was built, or you couldn't get your car across.
So if you were waiting,
it was really a popular place up until 1957, 1958 when the bridge came in.
Yeah, so if you were waiting to cross, on the ferries, like this is probably a spot where you would stop down, have a drink, have a bite to eat, and just wait to get across.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of history, about Prohibition and other things through the Old Dixie Tavern and hauntings and things like that. And it actually was a McDonald's from the years 1984 to 1997.
That
Okay.
is so wild. And then how did it get turned back into the Dixie Saloon? Like, how did this all happen?
Well, I don't really know why. McDonald's left, but they ended their tenure here in 1997, and the current owners then purchased the building and re-renovated it to what it is now. It's absolutely fantastic. It's 2 stories. It's all log cabin. The inside of the walls is filled with graffiti penned by guests that come from all over the world every year. The new building was opened in the year 2000. And then in 2006, we added some overflow seating in another bar that's connected, which is O'Reilly's Pub. I actually became the director of the Mackinaw City Chamber of Tourism in the year 2009.
Oh, cool.
And in 2021, after the COVID, really came back to life, I switched gears and I became the general manager of the Dixie Saloon. But I've been part of that restaurant really since about 2008, 2009.
That is wild. And I'm taking a look at your Facebook here. I was telling Meatball, I was like, their drinks and their pizzas look insane. Like, we got to go up there and we got to try this place out because
we're absolutely probably one of the highest volume restaurants in northern Michigan in summer season. We're right downtown Mackinaw City, right across from the Shepler's Ferry line. We have a view of the bridge, a view of the island. We have upstairs seating, and on a busy peak day, we serve almost 3,000 plates a day.
Damn.
Yeah, and in 2020, during COVID, we were constructing and then launched our own brewery in 2021, and we have trademark rights to Mackinac Island IPA, and then 2 other beers that are really taken off, exemplify the building, and they're called Graffiti. We have a Graffiti and Graffiti Light because the building is filled with graffiti from people that come from all over the world every year and leave their names and, come back from every, 3-4 years later and find their name. It's a cultural thing.
That's very, very cool. Now, obviously, this has worked out really well that McDonald's moved out. I have a theory as to why McDonald's might have moved out of there because you mentioned hauntings, and I don't think McDonald's does well if there's a whole bunch of spirits hanging around the McRib,
No, and when I took over in 21, there was a rumor through all the employees that there were several ghosts in the building, and, I'm not really that kind of guy, but after being there for 3 seasons, there's definitely something in that building.
So do you have any?
I have personally witnessed a couple things that are wow.
Can you give us like 1 or 2 of those experiences?
Absolutely. The greatest was in 2021, and we had a stainless steel table, just a regular make table, a prep table, and nobody was within that table of 5 feet. There was myself and one other individual in the kitchen, and there was a gallon jar of just made balsamic vinaigrette in a glass jar. And out of nowhere, the whole table tipped over on its side, and the jar of dressing just flew across and smashed on the floor.
Oh my!
There was not anybody within 5 feet of that table.
Wow.
That is a strong poltergeist there. That is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can verify that. And then really beyond that, the only other thing that I've witnessed is generally the first thing I do when I come in the morning, turn on all the lights, and I turn on the radio. And generally we play a local radio station in the morning, and then our own music at night. We have live music 7 days a week, but for a while, on and off, what will happen is I won't be near the actual control of the radio, and the volume will turn up and down.
Okay.
That is pretty wild. So
yeah, it either goes all the way off or it goes up to a blaring effect, and this only happens in the morning.
I thought you were going to say it suddenly switches over to 107.7 RKR The Rocker, which would be weird because you're in, northern Michigan. So that's a heck of a signal strength.
It probably would.
Well, luckily you could stream us on the Rocker app. Maybe the ghost will like that. But one thing's for sure, that ghost hates balsamic vinaigrette.
I think it does. Yeah. And it either likes or dislikes whatever song on the radio.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Brendan, thanks for hanging out with us today, dude. This was really cool to learn all this. And next time we are in Mackinaw City, man, we are hitting up Dixie Saloon for sure. We got to make it.
Please do, man. On me. You just give me a call. We'll set you up. And, if I can give a shameless plug, we do have full color up here, and we still have rooms up in Mackinaw City. The weather's turning around. So if anybody's looking to come north, it's a good weekend for you. Get some good color in.
Awesome, man. We'll definitely pay a visit for sure. Thanks for your time, dude. We appreciate it.
All right. Thanks. Take care, man.
Thanks, Brendan. We'll talk to you, man.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.